I'm going to bring back my reference and turn back on transparency. And this is where I might have to start resolving things. So let's go. Yeah, you know what? I'm going to hold off on that. I'm going to keep it planar for the time being, because I'll do that after the fact. Display, show, last hidden. There we go. All right, so why did I change my mind? Well, the thing is I want to articulate some of these feathers, these smaller feathers here, right? And it's not all a one-to-one scenario. So I am going to end up having to reduce my geometry. So let's insert edge loop there. Let's do it here, here. I'm not going to follow this exactly, but I'm going to follow the idea of it. There. These guys, I think I'll mostly leave alone. Let's do here. Don't like how these edges are running here, so I'm going to reposition these. They make a little bit more sense. And I want to try and get this as close as I can to the edges that are naturally flowing. If there's a couple spots where it's just not 100%, I'll be okay with that. Although it's all a matter of time, right? If I had, if you have the time to mimic it completely, take the time. If you don't, you have to figure out where you need to, well, you have to time manage. I'm starting to mumble. All right, here we go. All right. That's close-ish. All right, so from there, let's go back. I'll make that live again. Insert edge loop. Insert edge loop here. And then when I finish this swing, I'll call it wraps for today, and then we'll pick up in pre-recorded, and then I'll see you guys on Friday. So I'm going to come in and just articulate each one of these points, reduce my geometry after the fact. So actually, I think the making live is causing more issues than it's helping. And stick this in a layer. There we go. There we are. All right, so now from here, let's grab these verts, and I'm going to express some of the points of feathers here. And this is just kind of to help in the silhouette. Because what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple extrusions to help form the wing, just in our raw geo. And I think a couple key spots is fine. I'm not going to do every single one. But now let's go ahead and look at resolving this geo back into something more simple, coming out on the edge. Mesh tools. And let's go ahead and use the merge edge. Actually, let's use merge verts. Sorry, mesh tools. There we go. All right, so coming out from either side of the feather, and part of it is if this was for film, I would completely break the bank, completely go in and sort of make sure that everything is exactly as it should be. I mean, the artist in me is going, okay, what can I express at the expense of my my technical requirements? But I want to, ideally, you want to have this expressed fully, physically accurate. That's the best case scenario. So let's look here. I say that at the expense of sounding too apologetic. All right, and then go. All right, so let's count our edges one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. And then I would have to do 15. And let's go ahead and go. So I'll drop in one more edge loop. And that should help us in getting what we need. We'll see what happens when we come into append. But let's start here. All right, now I'm going to add thickness to it. And since I used that as my reference for modeling this, it'd probably be wise that I use it in Spotlight to texture my wing too, at least to start, to give the pattern. It could save me some time. So let's go edit mesh and face extrude. Move that up. Then let's go ahead and take actually, you know what? Let's take those guys. I want to make sure I only have the top selected here. So let's go here, holding down Control. Make sure I deselected the bottom here. It's hard to tell, but I think I may have. Let's turn off the grid and see if that helps. I guess there's only going to be one way to tell 100%, and that's to make my extrusion. So mesh, face extrude again. All looks well on the bottom. That's breaking silhouette. We are getting up there in our poly count. We're looking at adding an additional 1,100 polys to our model. And the more we articulate this, the more we're going to run into that. But I do want to make something nice and beautiful and articulate. So let's look at how we might be able to do that a little bit better. So this will animate just fine. I mean, aside from doing this one feather by one feather, I think this will animate just fine. I'm going to express a couple more articulations out here. And this is so that we can get sort of like, I don't know, like one feather as we move, animating out here, flapping. Okay, so let's take this face. And this is most definitely like above and beyond. This is like, okay, one of the nines, making it really nice. Spending a little bit extra polys just to get a little bit more going on. Let's do one more out here. Keep that nice and simple.